Hey, welcome to No Drinks in the Booth podcast, back with another classic episode 17. God, we've made it a long way. Shout out to everyone listening on Apple Podcast and also on Spotify. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review. We like to hear what you say about us and it pushes us up higher in the chart. As always, in the booth with me, back after his week away, our very own P. Young Pavan Saki.
Oh, fuck off.
And Mr. Good Vibes Only, Chris Watson. And as always, holding it down, myself, Wade Kadir. Pav, I'm going to start with you. How are you since you left us last week?
I'm feeling less good than I was about 30 seconds ago after fucking P. Young.
Every week I'm going to use that now.
It just sounds like one of them, you know, like them rap generator name things.
What, like B. Young would?
It's like one of them. That's definitely how he got his name. He's not inventive enough to come up with a proper one. Oh, shots already. He's not even released a tune this week. We're just shitting on him.
We should have one day a celebrity boxing match. Pavan Saki versus B. Young.
No, get slewed in it.
Oh,
listen, I got a Gymshark t-shirt on, so mans know that I'm about it, innit?
Straight up. Chris,
yeah,
how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm not bad. Yeah, not really a lot to say, to be honest. Bit of a quiet week.
Oh. You've got...
Yeah, I was going to say, you're fucking interesting today, mate. Fucking hell.
You've got the squeakiest chair I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit squeaky.
All I heard was...
Yeah, not really a lot to say, to be honest. It's been a bit of a quiet week all round. I think that's what we were saying before the podcast. Obviously, we have lots of interesting stuff to still talk about because that's how we do it on No Drinks in the Booth. But off the podcast... interesting
like that?
Yeah, that's debatable, but yeah.
Not a lot of stuff has happened, really. It's a bit of like a nothing week, really. But yeah, it's all good, mate.
Oh, well, thanks for saying that 1 minute into the pod, because now they're really interested to listen to
I did say, disclaimer, we've got lots of interesting stuff to talk about. We have got a lot of stuff to talk about on the pod still. I'm just saying myself, it's not been the most exciting week, but you know what? Not every week can be exciting. There's ups, there's downs, you know, that's life. That's the roller coaster of life. We just got to go with it, guys. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the podcast. Let's go. I'm buzzing.
Yeah, that was...
And this is where you go, oh, wait, how are you?
Oh, my God, every week he's angry.
I mean, last week I wasn't even here to pick up the pieces for you, so I'm actually a bit more disrespected.
I can tell when Chris during the intro is just like, he's obviously filling this gap of like, what have I been up to? Nothing really, but I've got to say I've not been doing nothing. And he goes silent. I'm like, yeah, this is where you ask, what have I been doing?
Every week I forget to do this. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be harsh.
Chris, I'm starting to feel like there's a personal agenda against Wade here.
Me too.
It's every week. Like, I know it's like it's two brown men, one white man. Like, I know you used to disrespect things like that.
Cool. Wait.
I mean, you still haven't fucking...
I was just about to. That's literally what I'm waiting for.
Wade, how are you, mate? How's it going? How's life? Tell me about yourself.
Thanks, Pav, for asking. Thanks, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, well, after that, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm good. It's been a nothingy week. The highlight of my week is there's a coffee shop near me called Joe and Jam who do amazing donuts and coffee, and I've been getting takeaway coffee from there. Shout out to them. Support local business and stuff like that. They actually do like banging coffee. Chris, you would appreciate it very much.
Sounds good.
And the donuts are unreal. And the other thing, which none of you spoke about, is the fact that all three of us actually streamed on Saturday. All streamed DJ sets.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. That was fun. I enjoyed doing that. It's enjoyable to do that again. Shout out to Ben and Stan Sessions and everyone else that was a part of it. I really enjoyed myself doing it Saturday. I don't know about yous. What's your thought?
I love a good stream.
Yeah, thoughts, feelings. Because Chris, you was streaming for like 2 hours.
Oh, sorry. Can we just tell the backstory to this first?
Yeah, go on.
So we were on the Stay in Sessions WhatsApp group, and Ben does the times, and Ben was like, oh yeah, here's the times. Is everyone happy with that? And we were all like, yeah, it's fine. Then Chris, who was obviously late to the conversation because Chris put, oh yeah, great, I've got the Calvin Harris slot.
Yeah, I did.
To which point everybody pretty much was like, oh, so there is one cunt in the group.
I did have the Calvin Harris slot though.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, you know what we're gonna do? I know there's a couple of lads that DJ for Stonegate. What we'll do is we'll take that slot at the end from them. Yeah, that's
cool.
Yeah, don't please never say the Calvin Harris slot again.
Yeah, did you watch any of Chris's set, Pav?
I actually did watch a bit of Chris's set.
We all have we was all doing other stuff while watching sets and that. Like I didn't see,
especially during Chris's.
Well, I actually I watched Chris's set, and did he play one Calvin Harris song? No.
Like it was literally open for you to play a best of Calvin Harris for a good,
or any Calvin Harris.
You could have got a good 15 minutes out of Calvin Harris. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was the Calvin Harris slot, as in like it was
silence.
The headline slot. That was the vibe.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming, Chris, can you send me that Rob Bass and acapella? It takes.
Oh
to
yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
And secondly, he pulled out the whole. I played the acoustic version of Paul Woolford and Diplo's "Looking for Me" in my set, and then Chris, who was on a few hours later, randomly he stops the music, does a little speech, which was nice, and was like, I heard Wade play this earlier. I'm going to play it, and boom, just played it.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's a great
impressed.
record.
Yeah.
Also, I know that none of you caught the end of my set. Because I also made a very impassionate speech about how much I hate Chris because he tried to send me in the WhatsApp group, and then I played "Begging" by Madcon.
I missed that. But Pav, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you played it. Like, you know, goes without saying. Really.
There was like,
oh, cheers.
There was slight.
You're not helping yourself here.
Well, there was slight tension between you two because obviously we're all part of the whole Stand Sessions thing, but aside from that, we obviously do this podcast. But amongst this podcast, Chris and Pav had slight tension in the Stand Sessions WhatsApp group.
We had beef.
It was like sarcastic digs at each other, which were great. But I could tell there's definitely like both of them are crying, and it was
like Stormzy and Wiley, but the Stand Sessions version and no drinks in the booth version. It was tense. I don't think it's really been resolved. Like, should we start doing diss tracks, Pav? I'm ready.
I'm already halfway there. Why do you think I got the mic, bro?
Well, so let's just clarify, like, to people that are
Someone
listening.
send me a notepad, bro.
Yeah, so people that are listening, because they're not in our WhatsApp group, know what you said. So basically, Chris said about Pav playing Madcon begging for the 100th time or something. And then...
In fairness, I've got a 0 remix of it, and it is hard.
And then Pav said to Chris, oh yeah, because I could just listen to an hour of all the music that sounds the same, all your techie stuff. And that was it. I knew beef was happening. Pav was on the way to Essex. Chris was on the way to Birmingham. They missed each other on the M1 or whatever. And
my mans were about to roll up. They're about to roll up.
Yeah, we was going to have a fight at Beaconsfield, mate.
In the car park.
But they did.
It's my favourite service station.
But
sorry,
wait. The reason you two didn't have a fight is because obviously you was following the coronavirus restrictions and you weren't travelling unessentially.
Yes, because we're responsible people, but still,
yeah,
we beef lyrically, not physically.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's like just like Chip. That's what we do.
Okay. Pav, please tell us about Beaconsfield or whatever your favourite service station.
Okay, this is. Do you guys not have a favourite?
Yeah, of course. South Mims. South Mims. Sorry, that's the one. Yeah, of course.
Oh, is it South Mims? Why is it South Mims? That's a good one, though. Haven't they got a KFC there?
They do. And a Subway.
Yeah, is that the one with the bridge and you can go either side?
No. But
I'm thinking of Woolly Allen.
With your services. Come on, seriously.
Listen. This podcast is taking such a downward turn. We're talking about service
we used to be cool talking about music and DJing, and now we just talk about services.
Yeah. Do I have
Beaconsfield has a Nando's?
But just in case you was wondering, do I have a favourite service station?
For God's sake, Wade. Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, mate. Wade, what's your favourite service station? What's your favourite service station, Wade?
I don't have one because my gigs aren't that far.
Right, okay.
Luckily, if there is my favourite place that I pull into, on the way to or from.
Your missus, I'm joking.
Yeah, keep this PG.
To or from one of my gigs, it is on the way back from the gig I do in Southend at the McDonald's because it's 24 hour at Rayleigh because they do really good coffee there. The woman who's the night manager knows my order. off by heart.
That's a flex.
Oh, that's a flex. You know when you go somewhere and they know your order already, but you don't know them like that. Like people that you don't like, strangers that work in there, they know your order.
That's a flex.
Biggest flex.
And occasionally,
biggest
I don't know her
flex.
name, but shout out to her, the night manager at Rayleigh McDonald's. She will occasionally as well, because I always get a latte, or if there's festive ones and a festive one, like a caramel or toffee one, she would always say when I'm at the window after paying for the latte, "Do you want a fries?" I'm like, no, that's fine. I think she goes, "I'll put a fries in the bag anyway."
Oh, that's
Free
a
fries.
flex.
Sorry,
That's
does your
a flex.
mom work at McDonald's?
No, she doesn't. But
That's such a like a mom thing. Oh, don't worry,
That's
pet,
nice. Oh, that's such a nice story, Wade. Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
yeah, I have seen her every week for like 2-3 years, pretty much.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, anyway, Beaconsfield, Pizza Express, Nando's, McDonald's, KFC, Greg's. Not much more. A close second is Cobham.
Never been to Cobham
Actually,
services.
Pav, just to interrupt you, I hope you've got your little what is our meal order at the end ready for today.
Oh, I'm ready. What you guys did meal deals last week?
We did meal deals last week, and we
just out of interest, what did you guys pick so I can know that you two are wrong?
Chris, go on, you can go
I
first.
can't remember
I've
exactly
got
what I
them
said.
written down,
I think I said. Have you got them written down? Oh, Wade's got them written down.
So you just made it up.
Cheers.
I haven't got
That's
yours.
a proper host right there. He has it all written down, so we don't forget. Love that.
No, I didn't write.
No, he's not that proper.
No, I didn't write down yours. I wrote down what we thought Pav's meal deal would be.
Oh,
Do you
God,
remember?
I'll have to remember then. I'm gonna have to remember.
Okay, go on.
Look, I'll tell you my meal deal. It is
if one of you says chicken tikka, I'm gonna fucking kick off.
No, because we're not doing no cultural appropriation today. This was my meal deal. Pav can tell. Then Chris can say his meal deal, and then Pav, we're going to tell you what we thought your meal deal would be. Yeah.
I love that you guys were like, we know Pav's not here, but let's try and work out what he'd like
That's
to
exactly
eat.
what we
Yeah,
did.
well, that's what makes a good podcast.
I rate this.
Yeah,
I rate this.
Okay, my meal deal is the all-day breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, big choice.
Good choice. Salt and vinegar McCoys.
Yes, big flex.
And drink depends on where or what I'm getting the meal deal for. If it's just straight,
Okay, so this is important because if you have the choice of all the shops, where do you get your meal deal?
I normally go Tesco.
We were doing Tesco. That was
the obvious one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Tesco's
the obvious one.
That was the correct answer.
Drink wise, it is either a Coke, a Mountain Dew, or a Red Bull. It depends because I don't.
Just under the time of the
I
day.
don't get the Red Bull if I'm literally just having lunch because I'm hungry. If I'm like on the way to a gig and that's my dinner, then a Red Bull's obviously appropriate. Chris, your meal deal, please.
So I go for
Thank
chicken
you.
Caesar wrap, followed by McCoy's steak and onion or cheddar and onion. But you know what? I have to decide. So cheddar and onion.
Yeah, I hope you don't do that before the club because ain't nobody kissing you after that.
Then I have a smoothie. Innocent if it's part of the deal. If not, I go with a naked smoothie. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I don't rate that too much, to be honest with you.
Maximise your
Those
money.
innocent smoothies are like really, really bad for you.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They
They're
taste nice,
actually
though.
terrible for you. Yeah, they're going
They've got
to kill you.
like the same amount of sugar as a Coke.
Yeah, they're going to kill you slowly. And this is what we
and more calories.
This is what we thought your meal deal would be, Pav.
This is what I'm really interested to hear this.
Okay, so we went with. I don't know why we went with this, but we went with cheese and tomato pasta.
Yeah, definitely not. Actually, no, I did go through a time. I used to bang the mustard one.
The honey mustard chicken
That
one.
was the second.
Big
That was,
flex.
I swear you said that as the second
Big
that was a
flex.
one. Wait, yeah,
Yeah, we did.
If I don't sandwich, I get that.
Yeah, we said steak and onion McCoys.
I do like steak, to be fair, but I don't like steak crisps.
Fair dues. And then we said drink-wise, straight up Coke.
Oh, okay. So if I have the option of everything, Tesco meal deal.
Yeah, please just do Tesco meal deal because we didn't decide the other ones.
Oh no, it's just if I have the choice of what, I'm getting Tesco because they have the best sandwiches.
Yeah.
Ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, fucking
Whoa.
hell.
Or ham and mustard, depending on how I'm feeling and if they've got it, because not many places do it.
That's true.
Then I normally go for recently, I say recently, like the last 6 months, I've been going for the Whatsits because the packet's gone bigger.
I weren't expecting that. Weren't expecting that.
So either go what's-its or I go salt and vinegar squares.
Wait,
that's a good choice.
Squares
that's a good choice. They don't always have them.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's like if they've got them and they've got the bigger packet and that's in, then I'm having that. And then, or if I'm on a gym thing, then I'll buy the fridge raiders.
Good choice.
Because the fridge raiders are like £1 on their own. And then drinks wise, if I'm going to the gym, I have a Red Bull. If I'm not going to the gym, which is most of the time, I'll try and have a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, good choice. What a choice.
But they don't always have Dr. Pepper.
No, they don't, no.
So depending on the time of the day, I'll either go Coke or 7-Up.
I just got to say, I actually really don't like Dr. Pepper. Drinker. I've tried it. I want to like it. I want to like it.
No. Well, this has become a two-man podcast very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, Chris, even I can't get on that. I love Dr. Pepper.
It's mad.
Okay, well,
it's just such a good drink.
Pav, just to give everyone that listens a bit of a, well, let's try and make them hold on right to the very end of this podcast because they're definitely not gonna. Is what restaurant or fast food place have you chosen today to ask us what our order is? Pav's wash.
We've just got to go.
We should name this Pav's Wash Your Order.
That's cool.
We've just got to go classic. We got to go for Nando's.
I love that. I'm ready for that as well.
Because Nando's is one of them where everyone's like, "Oh, it's just chicken and chips."
Don't be silly.
But like, it is far more nuanced situation.
Right. Hold it there. Stop. That is what's on Pav's Wash Your Order, which is at the end of this podcast. And we can debate all about the Nando's situation. And it's Nando's today, yeah?
Anybody that says halloumi is fucking wrong.
Oh, God, this is going to be interesting.
Look, hold it back. Hold it back, because this podcast can get very spicy very quickly. Should we do news? Let's go on.
Was that a pun?
Did you like that? See that I'm getting better and better week on week.
That was very funny. No, I'm just
stop. Let's move on. Wait, move us on.
Cancelled.
We're going to do news now. Okay, first headline. Little Pump. He endorsed Donald Trump at his rally, even though he got called Little Pimp by Donald Trump. Oh well. He didn't actually register to vote after all of that, so he didn't vote in the 2020 election, but he endorsed Trump at the rally. Thoughts, feelings?
That just sums up the whole Trump thing, right? It's just all talk and no actual real action. That's it. I mean, that is Lil Pump. That's what Lil Pump is. That's what Trump is. I nearly said Lil Trump. That's what Trump is. Yeah, I'm not surprised, and that's just so jokes, and I still can't believe that people support him when things like this come out. It's just another reason why I'm shocked.
He did tweet, Donald Trump did tweet 5 hours ago that he won the election, and what I loved was Twitter actually put like the little banner across it saying official sources have said otherwise.
Yeah. it's so funny.
Pav, your thoughts on Little Pump endorsing Donald Trump and then not voting in the 2020 US presidential election?
He should just change his name to Little Cunt, because that's such a fucking stupid thing to do. Like, it's not hard. Like, Kylie Jenner was getting bitches to vote. Like, she posted a pic and was like, make sure you vote.
All of them did.
And
everyone did.
It had like the most sign-ups in the history of like American history of people signing up to vote. And Little Pump still missed it. Like, but it wasn't even like a picture like, oh yeah, I'm voting, and she's like a picture of the president. She just had her ass and titties out like on a standard one and was like, make sure you vote. Well, and everyone fucking like signed up to vote.
Well, for
the fact that this guy, yeah, go on.
For clarity, so Little Trump,
that's what I said.
Little Pump,
Little Trump,
yeah,
Little Trump,
Little Pump actually was at the Trump rally, gave a speech. He was wearing the MAGA hat with Donald Trump there. Gave a speech to all these people about why they should vote for Donald Trump, and then didn't vote. These Kylie Jenner and a lot of these other celebrities, they might have posted photos or whatever they did, but it was just quite generic. Make sure you vote, because obviously your vote's important. He literally was backing Trump, endorsed Trump, and then didn't vote for anyone because he wasn't
literally
registered.
There.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just, it just makes my head.
Is the whole
it's
thing.
Why, like,
this is my...
This is 2020.
Yeah.
Well, look, this is 2020. This is 2020 in like a nutshell, where like, you know, when everyone's complaining, like in England, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's this and it's that, and it's like all this stuff, and then it's like, oh yeah, but you voted Tory.
Yeah.
So that's why this is happening. It's the same fucking thing. Because he'll definitely be complaining, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, probably should have. Because this is the first election in America, I say first, or first in a while, where like, I say like, it makes sense in every election, but like, especially this one, like, every vote actually counted because so many of the swing states were so close.
Yeah, 100%. Like
and then I was just gonna say, and then like, the guy was on stage. The guy was literally like, how did he think the voting process was gonna go? But he was like, oh well, I'm a rapper, so they're just gonna let me fucking vote. Like, no.
Well, this is the thing.
Just no.
This presidential election, we spoke about it last week, and this presidential election is the highest number of votes in any American presidential election in history. Joe Biden got the most votes.
Over 70 million, wasn't it?
I think Joe Biden, I think the total is roughly about 75, 76 million. Donald Trump's about, I think it's higher. I think it's about 78 now. And Donald Trump was like 72 to 74 million.
Oh yeah, because they've been recounting everyone, haven't they?
Yeah. Biden still won, so that's all that really matters when it comes down to... And
also, just to also throw that in, he's won by more than what Trump won the last election.
Yeah. But Trump...
and that was considered a landslide.
Yeah, and to be unbiased, even though I don't like Donald Trump, Trump got more votes this year than he did in 2016 as well. So just to clarify all that, my whole thought on this situation is there was celebrities that endorsed Trump or spoke with Trump and, you know, photo opportunities. Lil Wayne was one, Ice Cube was one. But I think the main difference with Ice Cube and Lil Wayne was they was trying to do something for the African American people,
diaspora,
in case Trump got back in. So they had these plans that they could help their communities in ways if Trump got back in.
Makes sense.
Little Pump generally come out at a rally and was like, you need to vote for Trump. Same way Nigel Farage did. So both of them are dickheads, Nigel Farage and Little Pump. And let's move on. Yeah, because like he lost. Just take it. Yeah. Take that L and move along with Little Pimp. Okay, we're going to talk about this next story more later on in the podcast, but we're touching on it now. And it's Octavian. He's been dropped by his label, Sony and Black Butter Records, after I don't know what the right word to... how to word this, after basically abusing his ex-girlfriend for a number of years.
Alleged domestic abuse claims.
Yeah, basically in a nutshell. Thoughts? I think we all feel quite strongly about this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll chime in here first. Obviously, you guys might have seen like sort of the photos and texts and whatnot, and there's a bunch of stuff out there. I know I'm just bait posted it. That's how I found it and sent it to the boys. It's not nice. It's never nice. I mean, there's not much to say about that. I mean, morally, nobody can really agree with it. We have to stress that it is allegation still, and it is not fact. But he has been dropped by his record label, so that's normally a slight indicator, although the record labels have had it wrong, although there is some very bad videos of him out right now, which is not doing him any fucking justice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Chris?
I was going to say...
I was just going to say, the one thing I have to stress to people, and it's the reason why he's been shagged in this situation, because things happen, like stuff gets out of hand, whatever. I'm not here to judge anyone or fucking start telling people what to do yet. But you know when people have cameras out and you're chatting crud, because that's what's really fucked him here, is that he was fully just on the, like, she was filming him and he was like, yeah, I did beat the fuck out of you. Like, how to take L's in 2020, fucking say that you fucking hit someone, like, he's literally said that he's committed the crime on a like, videos are forever. It's a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not only committed the crime, he's actually admitted to committing the crime on the video. So, Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, just to be sure, Pav's not saying that, you know, don't get caught. That's what he's not saying, just to be clear. But what you are saying is that, you know, obviously, when he's basically been an idiot, and, you know, it just, what it actually demonstrates is how much of like an idiot he is, because he's basically just been caught, and he's obviously not given a thought to the fact she was literally holding up the camera when he was saying that one video of him in their flat. He's basically so stupid that he's actually just said it out loud while she was holding up her phone camera. It's like, yeah, it was inevitable, wasn't it? Like, he was always going to get caught. Like, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like when that rapper made Murder on My Mind. What was his name?
YNW Melly.
Yeah, him. Like, fucking hell. Like, how to get caught in 2020, kill someone, and then make a song called Murder on My Mind.
It's good. Yeah. It's good that he's been that stupid, so he has been caught. Like, that's a good thing.
Are you you're talking about Octavian, so, yeah?
You know, he sort of got what he deserved.
Okay, yeah, 100%.
On a really big week for him as well, because obviously the Skepta Poppy Chulo tune was just on a Kamala Harris advert.
Yeah, it was,
for winning the election, which makes it double sad because he's obviously talented. Like, we all like his music. He has made good music over the last few years, especially big collabs. What was that tune? I just make you go a skit. I don't remember what the fucking song's called, but he's had a couple of big tunes, and he's just thrown it all away, really, because he can't come back from this.
I think, I agree with that. Like,
although, can he?
Yeah,
find out.
Obviously, we're going to get into this later, aren't we? So we can hold it.
I think maybe we should wrap up talking about it because you're going to just basically ruin the end.
Yeah, we're going to get into it later, aren't
we? Yep.
But yes, I'll give my thoughts very briefly on it. I don't think any of us condone violence, especially domestic violence. Doesn't matter how talented you are as a musician, artist, whatever you are. Don't condone it. I was a big fan of Octavian, so for me personally, I am gutted because I really liked his music, but the person attached to that music is obviously a vile human being, so I will never listen to it again. That's my thoughts on it. Okay, let's move on. The last headline, talk about a bit of racism, why not? The UK music industry is urged to drop the offensive term BAME, which stands for black. Is it black and mixed?
Black, Asian, minority, ethnic.
Oh, I thought it. Okay. I thought it standed for black and mixed ethnicity, but okay.
Nice. I'm pretty sure it's black, Asian, and
part of the problem.
I'm pretty sure it's black, Asian, minority, ethnic. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for.
Yeah. Well, on this podcast,
I know. Go on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. On this podcast, I would say we sort of cover part of the colour spectrum when it comes to the whole BAME thing.
We cover enough of it that we can talk about it but not be definitive on it.
There you go. Because we're of all different ethnicities, which is great. Sums up Britain, you know, a big melting pot of different cultures, which I think is amazing.
And then Chris just supplies balance.
What do you mean?
Or silence, whatever.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
Yeah, that helps. Cheers, Chris.
I don't get it.
I'm just saying, obviously, you got me and Wade, sons of the immigrant life, of Commonwealth, and then we have Chris. Chris is one of those people. You know when people do those like ancestry tests? I can't remember who I was watching, and this
Chris.
Oh, it was Jason Manford because he's from Preston.
Yeah, and
he was like, I paid like £1,000 to do one of these ancestry tests, and he was like, I worked out that 1,200 years ago I lived 12 miles away from where I live now. he was like, I'm literally the furthest traveling person from my tribe ever because I've moved to Manchester or something. And I just feel like Chris is like, he's like, well, we were in Romford, but now we're in Chelmsford. like that much difference.
Okay, right. Let's get away from talking about Chris and how he doesn't move that much to what we think about the UK music industry dropping the offensive term BAME, BAME.
I don't have a problem with it. Now, I realise I'm slightly more thick-skinned than most regular folk, but I mean, what difference does it make?
Look, I'll be honest. I don't like the term. I'm not offended by the term. I don't like the term because I think, why can't you just say a black person, an Asian person, a person of a mixed ethnicity?
So I don't have a problem with that either, but that's also not politically correct in the same light that BAME isn't politically correct, which is why I don't mind either. Like, I was gonna say when we were both kind of like twisting into each other a second ago, the reason why I don't mind BAME, I was like, the reason why I know it's Black, Asian, minority, ethnic is because we had a five-a-side team that was called BAME because there was no white kids in the team. Like, we started a five-a-side team and realised no one is white, and we were like, literally, we needed a name, and the guy was like, you need a name, like, now, just so we can put it on the website, and we were like, yeah, BAME sounds about right. It's a couple of Indian guys, there's a couple of black guys, like,
well,
I haven't got a problem with it.
Do we think the term's offensive? Like, Pav, you said no. I don't think it's offensive. I don't really like it. So I'd rather
the issue with it.
Someone say, "Oh, okay." I'd rather someone say,
"Go on." Let's hear the white man talk about the racial issue.
Yeah.
I just can't win in this podcast.
Just to put you on the spot, mate.
No, but what I've read, like the issue with it is that it's when it says Asian. Like, one of the issues with it is that what Asia's a massive place. Is that like Southeast Asian or like? You know, that's
no.
an issue.
I got to chime in on this. Because then, if you say Asian is was the politically correct way to say it. Because what was I going to say? Because like in America, you can't say Oriental.
Nah,
because Oriental refers to Chinese, Japanese, South Korean people of East Asian descent, and then people will say South Asian or whatever for Indian or like Indian subcontinent, but that's also big. That's general, like it's where you want to draw the line on this whole generalizing thing. Now, like I said, I'm very happy to be like Chinese man, black man, white, like it makes no difference, but I don't see the point in trying to come up with this politically correct way, because I'm very happy to just be like, oh yeah, he's a black man. Oh yeah, like, have you guys ever seen that clip of is it Andrew Marr, and they're trying to get like someone in the audience, and he doesn't want to say the Indian man with the turban, and he's like, you sir, with the blue shirt, and there's like 5 people sitting there in blue shirts, and he's just like trying to get around it, but he doesn't want to say Indian man with the turban.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo, like we just need to get rid of it, man. Like, just get rid of this political correct. Like BAME, haven't got a problem with it, because if anything, for me, it's associated more with like all these like random schemes and uni things that get us diversity quotas and all that stuff, and that helps us. I probably got into uni on a diversity quota, and I'm not complaining.
Well, look, for me, I get the best of both worlds because I'm mixed. I'm Asian, Bangladeshi to be exact, if anyone wanted to know, and white. So I get the best of both worlds, or the worst of both worlds, depends how you want to look at it. And I don't like the term purely because I just don't like the fact it says BAME. I think it sounds crap. But I would, I just, and
that's the shittest answer I've ever heard.
And it's sort of like, what would it's like some politician in Downing Street who's white and comes from like Yorkshire or somewhere, you know, like full of, you know, white history, which is fine. That's great. Like, British history is great. But he's the one that's come up with it. Like, why don't they talk to maybe a black politician, a South Asian politician, an East Asian politician, someone of mixed ethnicity, you know, and come up with it that way?
So I've been reading a lot and like listening to a lot about this, because there was obviously the problem with Greg Clark, who is the chairman, or was the former chairman of the FA.
Yes.
And he's just resigned for a couple of things, a few mad comments, but the one that everyone's jumping on is the fact he said coloured people. Now, as a brown man, I've got to be honest, I have zero problem with that. With the term coloured, I get what people say. People say, oh, it has negative connotation from America, but we don't live in America. And I understand that the world is more global, but like, I was using coloured for a long time. I was always saying coloured people, because I was like, it's really long to say black and brown people, because what you generally tend to mean is people that are not white.
Yeah.
That's just a long way to say it. saying coloured people know exactly what you're talking about.
But then the hard part,
it's not like I'm dropping N-bombs.
No.
Like if I was dropping N, you know what I mean? I'd be fair enough. Like that's very, very, very wrong.
I think the hard part in this is the mixed ethnicity part. And I can talk about that part because obviously that's the bit that I am. It's hard because people wouldn't say I'm coloured, if that makes sense. But they most probably wouldn't say I was white either.
So I once listened to this comedian talk about this, and he said, if you're even a part not white, you're not white.
Yeah.
So he was talking about like mixed race kids. Obviously in America, it's a lot more common because there's a lot more black people. But he gave the analogy. He said, if you have a glass of water, that's water. He said, as soon as you put a drop of Ribena in it, no matter how much, he goes, that's squash now. He goes, it's not water.
100%.
And I was like, fair play. I was like, it's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah. Look, I don't mind the term. I don't find it offensive. I think there could be a better term, but I think maybe you just go around in circles with what's the right way to say someone that's not white.
I would say as well. For my,
I was like, I don't like. It's not like people say BAME though.
I was literally.
It's not like anyone says it. It's just
about
like a
to
right
say.
thing.
Although I'm only one person, but I don't know anyone who's actually used that term to describe anyone ever. I've never used it. I had to Google what it meant, to be honest. If I'm honest with you, like before the podcast,
it is literally a term they use in
like schools,
politics,
and
offices and stuff like
that. They use it for like if they do like data sheets, like census sheets and stuff, like an easier way to. Because the other thing is, although we see a lot, because I think we live in very multicultural areas. Obviously, Chris, you spend a lot of time in Birmingham. Wade, London. Obviously, I'm Birmingham. There's a lot of brown and black people and people of other ethnicities around. So we think, oh yeah, there's like as many of us as there is of everyone else. There's really not. Yeah. It's like 15% of the country.
Yeah.
Like it's really that low.
I think we're very lucky we live in places that are literal cultural melting pots.
Like go to Wales and it's a different... Mate, listen, I've been to the fields of Wales, like farms. I'm having a pint in this pub. And literally, it was like traditional pub, like tartan carpet, so you know shit was legit.
Yeah.
And I was literally drinking, like everyone's eating carvery, and I'm just there like, oh, like genuine only brown person in there of like 150 people or whatever. That's like what it actually is. Like, that's a more accurate representation of the ethnicity, diversity, whatever the fuck it is.
Well, we're lucky to live in cultural melting pots. I wouldn't have it any other way because I like just having so many cultures around me. I love that. And I'm sure we all agree that that's what makes it fun, is the fact that there's so many different cultures. Let's move away quickly from this and we're going to the reviews. I think the only thing I would say is none of us find it offensive. I don't, Pav don't, Chris definitely doesn't. He don't, and no one uses the term. It's more of a political and office type term. It's a tick. It's a tick box. The one thing I'd say before we move away is I love it when people try and guess my ethnicity. It's like, let's guess his ethnicity, and they go for everywhere. It's great. And they have to tell them.
I'll be honest. If I didn't know you and I didn't know your name, I'd put a tenner on like Korean, like a little bit.
I either get Korean, Japanese, or Turkish.
You look like you've got like one of your grandparents is or something. So like a quarter.
Yeah. So to get really in depth, I'm over a quarter and under a half. If that makes sense.
Of what?
Bangladeshi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Over a quarter, under a half. And I can explain that if anyone wants to know it.
So a third.
Yeah.
Was it not quite a third?
Not quite a third. It's sort of over.
Have you done the math?
Nah, I'll explain it off podcast. It's really confusing. If anyone wants to know, DM me directly and I'll explain it to you. It's really complex. Okay, moving away from racial issues, Donald Trump and Octavian. Wow, what a news segment that was today. Let's do some reviews. Let's get into some music because that is what this podcast is about.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Sort of.
That's sort of what
It's
this podcast is about.
that, and that's about meal deals.
Yeah, we were literally like, oh my God, we need to make sure we're all about the music. And now we're like, yeah, well, I like mine extra hot with fucking peri peri sauce.
We're all about meal deals, racism, and fucking Donald Trump. Right. Okay.
That's a slogan if I've ever heard one.
I know. We're going to use that. Okay. First review today is from Predator, featuring Western. The track is called Distant Memory. Chris?
Love this. Love it. Love it. Great to see Predator back, healthy, hopefully, making music, back on the scene. Amazing production. He's an unreal producer, and I love this record. 4 out of 5 drinks for me.
Oh, wow. That was big. Obviously, I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was during lockdown, the first one, when Predator had a mental breakdown.
And was in Egypt.
That's what I was talking about. It's great to see him kind of over that.
Yeah, he was off the rails. He was saying he's like the rightful prince of Nigeria or some shit like that, or like he was on one.
Okay.
It's nice to see that he's better, because he's a really, really good producer. Like, obviously he hails from the mighty Birmingham, so big ups to him. Yeah, I really like this tune. I like how it's kind of got that sort of say my name style beat at the beginning, and then he flips it into the UKG double time. Two things that I both really like. Say my name's like a classic. UKG just will not ever die. 4 out of 5, great tune.
Okay, Distant Memory, Predator featuring Western. Yous have basically summed up everything I wanted to say, besides what a great collaboration. So that's I'm not going to
also, sorry, yeah, we can't deny how good Western sound on this track.
No, not at all. Fantastic sounding. What a production by Predator. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks as well, so it's 4 out of 5 drinks across the board for Distant Memory. Okay, next track, So Crazy, Davido featuring Little Baby. Pav?
Not really quite for me. It still got 3 out of 5 because I thought it wasn't shit. But it didn't quite hit the spot for me. But yeah, 3 out of 5.
I thought the video was really cool. I enjoyed the video, and the song was cool. So I gave it 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, So Crazy, Davido featuring Little Baby. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. I thought it was really good. I thought Little Baby on it worked well. Surprisingly worked well. Sometimes when rappers switch over to other genres, they don't sound as good, or like they fit, but I thought he did, so I gave it 4 out of 5. Okay, moving on. Next track, Cut Me Off. It's from Little Baby. It's definitely not. It's Cut Me Off by Young Bane featuring D Block Europe. Chris?
Really nicely produced. There's a couple really nice productions in the list this week, which I'm really enjoying. And this one was cool. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me on Cut Me Off.
It's really good production. It's average. Pav?
Why? Just out of interest, Chris, because you do this a lot. You big up a lot of tunes, and then you're like, yeah, 3 out of 5.
I've said this before.
What with this song was wrong that it didn't get a 4 or 5? Because you were like, yeah, great, 3.
3's good. Remember, 1 or 2 is when things start getting bad. It's 3's good.
3 is average. I'm not gonna,
you've just dick teased Young Bane.
Well, I never thought I'd do that. I never thought I'd do that in my life.
This is
crazy.
It was like the review equivalent of a dry hump.
Yeah, pretty much. On a boat.
Oh, don't start that. Oh, but yeah. Well, I'll go next. I also gave it a 3 out of 5 because I like the production. The music sounded right. It didn't get higher because I feel like the flow in the chorus or the pre-chorus didn't quite sit right for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe he's trying something different. Didn't quite hit for me, but I really liked the verses. So yeah, 3 out of 5.
Okay,
good attempt, but I've given the reasons why it wasn't a 5 because I'm not an asshole.
Cut Me Off, Young Bane featuring D Block Europe.
Love you, Chris.
Equally gave it 3 out of 5 because of what you said about the chorus, pre-chorus part. There's something that
it wasn't right, was it?
Yeah, there's something that just maybe it needs a few more listens. I don't know. It was like
they were trying to be skippy and like melodic, but it just didn't hit at all.
Yeah, it missed the mark a little bit. Equally, I didn't think D Block Europe were mind blown or anything on it. It was just.
When are they?
It was average, which is why it got a 3. It's not bad a track, but yeah. Next track, Goyard Batman by The Plug, H, and our favourite Little Pump. Chris?
So The Plug is Charlie Sloth's like production outfit, is that right? That's Charlie Sloth's.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
Since fucking when? Remember when we said at the beginning of the podcast, if you have any questions to ask
if anyone
before so we can research them.
Ask Wade a question, just like a casual question. He didn't need to know the answer, but Wade, being a good host, he's really upset he didn't know the answer, which, no, honestly, I respect that. But guys, we don't need to know everything. We know a lot about music. That's great. We don't need to know everything.
Well, I'm going to butt in and say I don't know if The Plug is Charlie Sloth's production outfit. Equally, I can't be bothered to Google it either because it won't make any difference.
To be fair. But I'm almost certain it is Charlie Sloth's production outfit. So great, whoever it is, whoever The Plug is, whoever that is, big up yourself, because it's great to see you putting H and Lil Pump together. I know there's like mixed feelings on the podcast about Lil Pump, but I was actually feeling this track, so I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. So over to you, Pav.
So I was just trying to find out who The Plug
Wade's going to be angry. Wade's getting angry. I can sense it.
I don't care. I'm not really fat. I'm very chilled this week.
Yeah.
Because last week, so to clarify for anyone that didn't listen to that classic episode, it was just me and Chris. So then I had to look and talk, which isn't the easiest thing to do. Like,
let me tell a quick funny story about that very quick. So me and Chris are working with a new client on some stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, really like your podcast. It's just the two of you, right?" And I was like, I know that you haven't fucking listened to it, you stupid cunt, because I was like, none of us fucking introduced literally the first thing in the fucking podcast is not one of us two.
It's true, yeah.
I was like, stop trying to butter my knob. Fucking just be straight.
And this is why we have Pav on the podcast. We love it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. This is what the podcast misses, Pav, when you're not here. So please, back to the Goyard Batman by The Plug, H and Little Pump.
It was going to be a 2 because the first verse was trash and the beat's all right, but then H comes in and H just saved it because he's just too good. He just can't put a foot wrong. I just feel like he's just really, really... Well, he can put a foot wrong, and we'll talk about that later from that Instagram post that I sent you about the environment.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
We'll chat about that later.
We'll chat about that later. But he's really good, and his missus lives literally 2 roads away from me, so I got to back him, give him a 3.
Nice. Batman, The Plug, H and Little Pump. So you gave him a 3 because his missus lives
it's
2 minutes
Pav.
away.
Wait, it's Pav.
So my cousin,
it makes sense. It's Pav.
So my cousin met his missus and him at a Brit party because she works for a well-known broadcast company. And they were there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're both from Birmingham." And they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, do you know Billesley?" And we were like, "Oh, fucking nobody's from Billesley. It's a very, very small area. It's like about 6 roads." Oh. So it was a thing. Like they bonded over that.
Fantastic. Good on them. Good on H for going out with someone from there. Okay. Goyard Batman, The Plug, H and Little Pump. I gave it a 3. I didn't like Little Pump on it. The production was good. H saved it, so that's why it got 3. Been better if Little Pump wasn't on it. I didn't like him. I've gone off Little Pump after the whole Donald Trump thing and then not voting thing and just being a bit of a dick thing. But his flow's okay, but it is literally just gets a 3. I didn't think it was worth much more. But whatever. Okay, next track, The Thrill by Prosper. Chris?
Cool retro vibes. I really like the visuals that went along with it. And it's great to see kind of innovation in UK dance music. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Pav?
I really like this. I gave it a 4. And what I also put underneath was, if Kygo released it, then it would pop hard in the
Prosper
charts.
Is a long way off Kygo. They're 2 very different entities, mate. I'm not sure if Kygo would release this. It's a stretch.
It had that. It felt like that. The Donna Summers track that he came out with. It had that kind of feel, which I liked. Well, but I did give it a 4 because I did really enjoy it.
Okay, The Thrill by Prosper. I gave it a 4. And you mentioned it had that Donna Summer feel to it. It should, because it was based. The whole idea was that it was like nostalgic and had like an 80s feel to it, which I think you get straight away. Prosper has had like a string of just solid productions, like The Prayer. I love that. And some of the Ecstasy and some of the others he's had. The Thrill equally is just as good as them. And that's why I got a 4. And I think if he continues on this streak with just solid hits, won't be long till he gets a 5. Okay, moving on. Next track is Your Love by Sosa. Pav?
Yeah, it was just an alright tune, to be fair. I gave it a 3 because it wasn't shit, but it was just alright. 3 out of 5.
I love your reasoning. Chris?
Yeah, I thought you'd like this one, Pav. I don't know. I feel like you would have felt this one a little bit more.
It didn't hit
It's cool
for me.
to hear Sosa doing garage because he's done like some house, then some like deeper tech house stuff. I think he linked up with Salado, if I remember that rightly. So it's cool to hear him making garage, shows versatility. Sorry. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see. So 4 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, Your Love by Sosa. I gave it 3 out of 5 drinks. I just don't think it's as good as some of the previous stuff he's done. It's good, and it's good to see him sort of like get into that garage sound and scene. But I think equally there's some like better tracks out there that are of this sort of sound. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just think it will get lost in some of maybe the higher tiered tracks. So that's why I got 3 out of 5 drinks for me. But I'd love to see what more he does in this style. Okay, next track. It's called Bringing Me Down. It's by Jess Bays and Elliot Chapman. Chris, I'll let you go on
big
this.
shouts to the label. First up, Simmer Black, Low Steppers label. I feel like, Pav, you'll big up Low Stepper too. He's like Birmingham lad. I mean, Cannock, but still, he's like Birmingham's like his main.
It counts.
Is his spot.
Yeah, it counts. Just means he was a bit of a posh cunt when he was growing up.
Pav Saki, we love it. On the pod. Fantastic. Yeah, Bringing Me Down. And yeah, it was a cool record. 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Oh, well, I hate to burst the bubble, but I didn't like it. So it got a 2 out of 5 for me. And the only reason, there wasn't anything particularly wrong about the song. I just feel like I've heard tunes that sound like that so many times that it just felt unimaginative, uninventive. It just felt like I've heard this song 100 times, and that's why I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Okay, Bringing Me Down, Jess Bays and Elliot Chapman. I gave it 3 out of 5 because the production's very good. The reason it doesn't chart higher is because what Pav said, it's very similar sounding to a lot of tracks out there, and I think especially in dance music, that's fine. Dance music does sound repetitive and there's some elements that will be samey, but I think right now when like people aren't consuming music the same because you can't go to a club or festival, I just think it'd be cool to have something that stands out a bit more. Nothing wrong with it. I just worry that it become a filler track, not the track that people are shazamming, if that makes sense. So let's move on. Drinking and Smoking, Future and Lil Uzi Vert. Pav, you can go first on this.
It was just alright, to be honest. I gave it a 3 because it wasn't terrible. It was just okay. There's nothing really much more to say about it. I was like, it's not shite. It's just okay. Like literally, that's all I thought for the whole 3 minutes I listened to it. It's just okay.
Fair enough. Chris?
What was your drinks rating, Pav? 3 out of 5.
I give it a 3, sorry. To fucking...
It was...
yeah, should have done that.
It was... I'm surprised Future and Lil Uzi haven't like collaborated yet. Have they? I don't know if they've collaborated, but yeah, they have now.
Well, they have now, clearly.
He was about to ask the question.
I could feel it.
He was about to say, have they?
Wayne would kill me.
Well, they actually have 7 album tracks together if you look from 2017.
Well, if you want some clarity, Chris, this is from their collaboration album, which has come out, called Pluto and Baby
yeah,
Pluto.
and
Oh, also, just to cut you again, the plug has nothing to do with Charlie Sloth.
I thought you had something to do with it.
Like, actually completely fucking zero.
I thought it was. I was wrong. But it's obviously like a production outfit of some kind.
Take that L and hold it. Okay, future Little Uzi Vert, drinking and smoking. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, it's called Singing and Collaborating. I mean, it's kind of like a perfect collaboration, like similar style. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me on this one.
Okay, drinking and smoking, Future and Little Uzi Vert off the new album Pluto and Baby Pluto. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. The album is very good in my opinion. I like it. I'm a fan of Little Uzi Vert. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Future, but I like Future. And it's good to see some new music from Little Uzi Vert. And equally, I think Future really adds to this album. This track got 4 out of 5 drinks. There's better tracks on the album, but I thought it's solid. You know, I couldn't take anything away from it. So 4 out of 5 drinks. Okay, moving on. Lose Control, PBH and Jack featuring Sasha Sings. Chris?
I enjoyed this record. PBH and Jack Shizzle, right? Is it Jack Shizzle or just Jack?
It was Jack Shizzle, and now it's just Jack.
He's taken out the shizzle. That's interesting. Yeah, they're wicked producers. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Sorry, you said just Jack, and all I thought was remember. So why do you want to go and put stars in there? Right? Sorry, let me just drop my fucking phone on the floor.
What a banging!
Yeah, that was a great record.
That was such a good. Yeah, I was like listening to that like last month, and I was like, man, take me back.
What a banger! Okay, but talk about this Jack, which is PBH and Jack. Lose Control.
It's completely not related. Really like this song. It had something else going on. I kind of don't know what it is. There's just like a different energy to it. I really like the way that the song just sort of switches up on you. Really like the vocal. 4 out of 5. Nice tune.
Yeah, Lose Control, PBH and Jack featuring Sasha Sings. I really like it. I gave it a 4 as well. I thought it was really well made. PBH and Jack have had like a string of songs and remixes out for ages, and it's always really quality production. I really like this. It works really well, and you could definitely see it being banged at your local nightclub if they were open, but they're not. So, but very good track. 4 out of 5 drinks. Okay, next one, Bridged by a Lightwave, the return of Deadmau5 featuring Kaiser. Pav, I'll let you start with this.
I was listening to it, and I was kind of trying to not like it. Like, I love Deadmau5. And I was like, oh, it's not right. And then I was like, all right, let me just sit there. So I listened to it again.
Sorry,
put my headphones in.
Did you listen to that extended version or the radio edit? Because if you listen to the extended version, it's like 11 minutes.
Whichever version you put on,
is the radio edit.
That's the one. And I was sitting there. And the first time I was like, do I like this? Do I not like this? I'm not sure. So I listened to it again. And I was like, I sort of don't want to like it because I'm not quite sure about. I wasn't quite sure about the melody. Like, I was like, do I like it? Do I not like it? But the sounds are just so good that I couldn't not like it. Like the sound design of the music just was so good, and it just kind of proves why Deadmau5 is such a G. So it got a 4 out of 5 for me.
Great to hear this sound again. I love how it's like the same sound he's producing years ago, and you know, he probably doesn't have to work anymore, Deadmau5, after everything is done. So it's great to see this sound still going strong. So 4 out of 5 drinks for me. Absolutely love this.
Okay, Bridge by a Lightwave, Deadmau5 featuring Kaiser. I gave it 5. Really great sound, really great production, amazing progression throughout the song. Kaiser fits perfectly on the song. It's sort of like what you'd show someone that wants to make electronic music, like a masterclass in quality. Gets 5 drinks. Can't knock it. Okay, next track, Together by Side Piece, who people know from Diplo and Side Piece's track, which
On My Mind.
That's it, On My Mind. There you go. This is their follow-up to that on their own, and it's called Together. Pav?
Really like this song. I really like that sort of bass synthy sounds. Again, it sounded very like expensive. Weird way to like explain it, but it just sounded like they didn't just chuck it out. Like, they spent time and made this tune. So it got a 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, big shouts to Side Piece. I actually did a remix TikTok on my mind this week. And big shouts to Sapi, because I saw him liking all my posts when I put them up, and glad to see you. He was feeling it, and I'm feeling this one as well. It's a good track. 4 out of 5 drinks. Wicked tune.
Okay, Together by Side Piece. I gave this 5 drinks. What a follow up.
Have you given 2 5s in a week? Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, I give 5s quite. If they're good, I give 5s these days.
Oh,
I'll give credit
handing
where
out 5s.
I give credit where it's due. That's why. You like that one? Okay, I gave it 5, and I'll tell you why I gave it 5, because it is a very good follow up to On My Mind. Normally, when you have a massive track like that, especially because it went TikTok viral a few months later than when it came out, it's very hard to follow up with a good track, especially on your own, because you had Diplo sort of pushing the On My Mind track. Solid. Bassline's wicked, really good production. Vocal is super catchy. It will be in a lot of my sets. And yeah, I gave it 5. 2 5s today. Okay, next track, as we're rounding out these reviews, Chop by Aya Nakamura. Chris?
I absolutely loved Jaja, which is just I played that on repeat when it came out. Absolute record. And this one's wicked as well. I really like the album artwork as well. Like, just super crisp, clean. Love that kind of look. Wicked stuff. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Yeah, it was cool. I feel like because it wasn't English, it didn't really hit with me like that.
In French.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, so I mean, because of that, it hasn't got higher. Because I feel like she's probably spitting some bars. Like it's a bit slightly meaningful, like it works with the tune, but I don't know what she's saying, so it got a 3.
Okay, Aya Nakamura and Chop. I gave it a 3 as well. I've heard some stuff that's coming out of hers that I got sent, but it's not actually out. That's why we can't talk about it in the reviews. And
do you get them Dropbox links as well?
Yeah.
And
that is very good. She's got a track coming out with Miss Banks and a track coming out with Stormzy, and they are both banging. This is a filler.
We can't talk about the tracks, but I'll tell you who's on them and what they sound like.
Well, as soon as they get released, they'll be in the reviews. This is just not as good as them, and not as good as her previous tracks. It's a filler track. So
what you're saying is you're basing this tune on songs that she hasn't released yet, that are potentially not finished.
No, I got sent.
But you heard them.
I got sent the promos.
Oh, fucking send the promos, mate. Fucking hell.
So
I'll send you my email, bro.
Yeah, there you go. I got sent the promos, and they're due for release, I think, in the next couple of weeks. So
yeah, we're not cool enough for that.
Who's we, you or me?
I mean, me and Chris, because clearly we didn't get fucking sent it.
Well, am I a tastemaker? Who knows? I gave it 3 out of 5 drinks for that reason. Okay, let's finish off the reviews today. Holiday by Lil Nas X. Pav?
This is alright. I quite liked his flow on this, to be fair. It was skippy, like it's kind of cool. I wrote down 3, but the more I'm thinking about it, I feel like it's closer to a 3.5. So I'm going to break all the fucking rules. It's got 3.5 drinks.
And we wouldn't expect anything less than from you, Pav.
It's about time there's a trap Christmas song for like to get turned to at Christmas. That's obviously the vibe. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 drinks.
Thanks for that, Chris. Okay. Holiday Lil Nas X. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. I think it's really good. The more I've listened to it, the more I like it. It's very rare to have rap or trappy stuff that's to do with the holidays like Christmas, and this is sick. You know, Chance the Rapper and Jeremiah released an album, like a mixtape a few years ago about Christmas. It's all Christmas songs, and they were sick. And I don't hear any people making modern day Christmas or holiday songs. You don't hear it.
That's because it's not getting better than Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but you know, it doesn't hurt. It got 4 out of 5 drinks, Lil Nas X and Holiday. That is all of the reviews. And as always, if you want to listen to any of the tracks that we spoke about, check out our No Drinks in the Booth playlist. It's on Spotify. We also have one on YouTube. They're by No Drinks in the Booth. Artist is the same name as the playlist. YouTube has the videos. Spotify has the music. Make sure you check them out. because a lot of hard work goes into them. Okay, track of the week.
Oh, okay. This is a tough one.
Well, Chris, you're going to start because Pav hasn't decided.
It's a tight call between Deadmau5, Bridge by Lightwave, and Distant Memory Predator. But this is difficult. I'm going to go with Distant Memory Predator featuring Western. That's the one.
What great track, Pav?
I'm also going to go with that.
Yeah,
that's my favourite track of the week. Distant Memory, big tune this is. I hope it does well. It's one of those tunes I feel like it's clubby, but it's not too clubby that you can't, like, it's still a good enough driving song.
Did you have...
So I'm hoping it does well.
Another song in mind, by any chance? Just because Chris went for it. Like, was there anything that was close to it for you?
I think this was the highest four, in my opinion. There's a good tune.
Fair enough. I've gone Bridge by Lightwave, Deadmau5 featuring Kaiser. Equally, I was going to go with Side Piece Together, but Bridge by Lightwave cut it for me because Deadmau5 hasn't released music for a long time, and this...
Didn't you have an alias he was releasing under or something?
What, Deadmau5?
He was releasing under something else.
Yeah, he mostly does. He mostly has loads of aliases. He also has a record label. So,
I mean, he's just a really, really cool person.
Well, yeah, legendary. Legendary,
okay, in general.
Very legendary. Should we recap our tracks of the week? Okay, so Chris and Pav both went for Distant Memory Predator featuring Western. I went for Bridge by Lightwave, Deadmau5 featuring Kaiser. And make sure you listen to both of them tracks on our Spotify playlist or equally our YouTube playlist. And No Drinks in the Booth is where you find them. Yep. That is all the news. That is the reviews done for this week.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So, should we get into the discussion then?
Let's get into some discussing, boys. So, I'll take the lead here. I shall take this mantle.
Chris didn't have a choice.
Okay. Chris was kind of trying to do words, but they weren't really coming out. So I was like, let me save him.
I'm just going to start the discussion section, and then I'm going to shut up. And when you want me to speak, you just let me know, guys. When you want me to speak, you just let me know. I'll just sit here.
Oh.
Okay, that's
how
good.
The tables have turned. White man asking the brown man to speak.
Wow.
Quickly, has anyone noticed in this podcast Chris's very descriptive review section and then low rating?
Bruv, it pisses me off, man. Every week Chris is like, oh my god, yeah, like, oh, side piece, yeah, he sent me 15 quid on PayPal, but it's 3 out of 5.
That'd be great. I need that right now.
Like,
or equally,
that'll pay for my
the
meal
reverse of it is Chris will go, oh yeah, no, I didn't really like that, didn't like this. He gets 4 out of 5 from me.
Chris,
I'm like, what?
Chris will be like, yeah, well, you know, DJ Q did kill my nan, but it is a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
The scream on the drop, it is her dying, but you know, 4. Fucking hell.
He's got nothing to say. It's like, this is how I do the reviews. If you don't like it, fuck off.
I'm just happy Chris is not wearing black. It's like a first for him. Normally he's on the black oversized tee life.
He's wearing white oversized tee.
I'm excited. My dress sense is just so exciting.
I can't wear white because I'm too scared that I'm going to spill food on it because I'm such a bad eater. Like, genuinely.
Let's get into the discussion then.
Well, let's talk about... So, obviously, we spoke about Octavian earlier. Obviously, very, very bad situation. But it's not the first time it's happened. Like, there's always this discussion about kind of musicians and crime and where that kind of sits in terms of should you listen, should you support, should you not listen, should you not support, like where the line is. And I think all of us have pretty strong opinions about this, just because it's been happening for so long now. So I just make sure that I don't burp straight into the fucking mic.
Fucking hell, Pav.
But yeah, like, there's just been so many, and obviously the Octavian thing has just brought it up again because obviously what he did or allegedly did is vile. It's not acceptable in any way, and he's obviously been dropped from Black Butter, which is a Sony record label, same one as J Hus and a few others. He's been dropped, probably rightfully so. There seems like there's a lot of evidence stacked against him, so I don't think he's winning this. But But yeah, like, I mean, like, let's chat. What do you guys think when it comes to crime and listening to an artist's music still? Because there's just been a lot of high-profile cases, hasn't there? Especially recently.
Yeah, it's hard because someone like Octavian I won't listen to again or play any of his music again. Equally, same with R. Kelly. But there's ones where it's like hypocritical. I think R. Kelly might be different because he's a nonce. So
allegedly,
yeah, he is.
He is yet to be charged.
Well, whatever. He's a nonce, so it's a little bit different. But equally, Chris Brown's a very divided opinion because I listen to Chris Brown and I play Chris Brown records, and he did hit Rihanna. So
right, I got to take this a little bit because obviously we spoke off pod, and we was talking about surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, R. Kelly is the greatest R&B singer of all time. No contest. Literally no contest. I think he's literally the best.
This is how our podcast gets cancelled.
Right. Guys, it's been
Can you see it?
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Best of luck.
It's a fact. It's an objective. If we're going just by the music, it's a fact. I don't think many people would argue with it. Well, in terms of the music.
Look, why don't you
just the music?
On Saturday, why don't you do an R. Kelly only stream and see how that goes down?
This is the things that I've played. So I was doing some these interactive bingo nights, and number 15 is Young and Keen. So as a joke, we were playing R. Kelly. So we play Ignition, and Ignition's like the safe bet because everyone's like, yeah, he's a nonce, but this was the club bop. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it came up because we played 3 games. So on the third game, we've gone, should we play Bump and Grind? And we were both looking at it as Ben Rolfe, he was playing with me, and we were like, should we do it? And I went, fuck this, I'm doing this. And I played it. And for the first 3 words, everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so fucking disgusted. And then for the rest of the song, they're just fucking singing it. So it's like, I can't take this hypocrisy where this is so wrong, but I'm still gonna sing it. The song is basically a visual representation of how it feels like to listen to R. Kelly now, because the song is literally my mind's telling me no.
Oh God.
Literally. But yeah, obviously he has done some questionable things, which haven't been held up in a court of law as of yet. But I'm not going to defend him. The only reason why I back R. Kelly is because everyone backs Chris Brown when he clearly beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Yeah, I think the only thing going in Chris Brown's favour is one,
she was younger.
She wasn't underage, and 2, they were very young.
But
not making it. I'm not saying it's right. Yeah, they were very young. Yeah, I'm just saying that sort of the argument is that they were both very young, and that sort of gives him time to then say, I'm wrong, and I it's different when you're doing it for 20, 30 years or something.
And I get that, but everybody knows that it's not acceptable to hit women.
Yeah,
it's not like a up for debate thing. It's do you know what I mean? There's no question about it. I mean, hitting anyone to be honest, mate,
to be honest, I don't think it's up for debate. Allowing R. Kelly to be a thing. To be honest, it's just not really up for debate. Yeah.
Oh, and I agree with you. However, we've got to show the same energy to Chris Brown.
Yeah, but that doesn't excuse R. Kelly though, does it?
How old's Octavian?
Wait.
How old? No, I'm not. I'm using it. I don't really care either way because it makes no difference to my life. In honesty,
let's stop for a second and just pause, a moment. Let's just clarify the differences because there's similarities, but there's obviously huge differences in the R. Kelly Chris Brown thing. Chris Brown obviously hit Rihanna, and none of this is right, by the way, what I'm saying. But I think at the time he was 17, 18, he was young. And they were obviously of the same age. Yeah.
You know when you ask those questions and you're you just ask them on the pod and you expect people to know them?
Yeah. I get asked all the time. And equally, the thing with R. Kelly was it was all underage girls and
allegedly.
Yeah, but it was. And he's a nonce, and there was a sex tape of it all, and you know, there's obviously the documentary of surviving R. Kelly and stuff like that. Chris Brown has obviously come out, apologised, and got help, whether that's rehab or therapy or whatever it is. Rihanna forgave him, whatever that may be, in whatever form she did, whether it was publicly or behind closed doors. But I think it's two very different situations. I think maybe the Octavian thing and Chris Brown thing are similar, but still different, as in the R. Kelly and Chris Brown thing, or equally R. Kelly and Octavian are worlds apart. That's just sort of
I don't think R. Kelly can be excused, to be honest. Like, the evidence is overwhelming, albeit not being settled in a court of law. Like,
look, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, I think Prince Andrew...
He was 20, by the way. So just to cut you, he was 20 when it happened.
I think Prince Andrew's a nonce. Like...
Oh, no, not think. Prince Andrew is
Has that been settled in court?
And this is my point, is it wasn't settled in court, but
so he's just the same as R. Kelly situation then?
However, oh, no. Don't try and think you're going to out-lawyer me on this, mate. This is not... Did 4 years of fucking school for this, mate.
We'll get to it then.
The evidence stacked against Prince Andrew is far, far, far greater than the evidence stacked against R. Kelly. As much as I'm not excusing R. Kelly, because realistically he is a nonce, I'm just basically just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit on that, and also really like his music. Just don't like the fact that he pisses on kids.
So
not great.
Basically, because you like his music so much, yeah, you're obviously playing devil's advocate with it. As in, you like
if we say tomorrow, oh, R. Kelly's, that's it, done, completely out, like there's no hope. I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm backing that.
But there isn't no hope.
I've already cancelled R. Kelly.
The thing
to be honest,
same.
But the thing is, and I feel like I do it because of the Chris Brown thing and because of the Michael Jackson thing. Like, everyone knows that Michael Jackson realistically was a nonce. That's a fact. There's so much evidence. There's as much evidence against R. Kelly as there is against Michael Jackson, except for the fact there's not a video of him pissing on a kid.
But didn't Michael Jackson's one go through court and he was found not guilty?
On like one charge.
Yeah, but it weren't just one.
It was so minuscule. But like, the thing is, I mean, R. Kelly's won court battles. R. Kelly's won about 6.
Look,
which I think it's very easy for us to say like, oh well, if it's won through court, then it's a fact, because we all know that that's not true, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
However, I can't have this double standard. I feel like with Michael Jackson, we're like, oh yeah, but he was so talented, and yeah, he had a troubled youth, and it's like, well, R. Kelly also had a troubled youth and was also very talented. He wasn't Michael Jackson, but it's just like, I know Michael Jackson got cancelled for a very short period of time, and I was quite sad at that time because it was during the Drake tour, and obviously he made that big tune "Don't Matter to Me" with a Michael Jackson vocal, like new vocal, and he couldn't perform it. Like, he had to cut it from the set because like Michael Jackson was like cancelled at the time, and now no one gives a shit. I just can't. I'm trying to work out how people's morality is made on this, because I can't make edgeways of it for that reason. Like, we were literally like, oh well, Michael Jackson, he's had so many hits that we just got to give him a pass. Like, and he's dead, which obviously doesn't help the situation, because R. Kelly's obviously still here, so there's the interaction. There's loads of evidence against people like Usher, Tim Westwood. Fuck me, Tim Westwood, it's not looking good for him. I mean, there's so many, but I don't think we can pick and choose, because I don't like that, because it's basically like, oh well, it depends how much we like them. I think the issue
for me is that when they get away with it, it sets an example, and it suggests that maybe you can get away with it. That's where the problem is for me.
Yeah, like from morale, like a moral type standpoint, like the Usher thing I never knew about anyway, so that's obviously...
Yeah, apparently he gave a bunch of people HIV. That's a thing.
Yeah, but the problem is these days, is that just a rumor that everyone's believing true, or is it true? Because you can just
I've heard
you can make up any old shit.
I've heard it's true, but I'm saying I've heard it's true is a rumor.
there you go.
It was a thing for a bit, like genuinely though.
And equally, it's like the Tim Westwood thing. Going, well, I've heard about Tim Westwood, but like, what? Because there's the only thing I've ever heard about Tim Westwood is that he likes girls, and all his gigs are over 18 gigs. So realistically,
so according to the BBC, Usher paid this girl $1.1 million for giving her HIV.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Which means he had it and then had sex with her and then transmitted it.
But then equally, I'm confused about what the like morality aspect of that is. So he's wrong
because he knew he had HIV.
Yeah, so
it's illegal to shag someone without telling them or without using the correct protection if you have an STI, obviously.
Yeah, I get that.
It goes under GBH, that does.
No, I get that, but I wouldn't classify that the same as R. Kelly who had a sex cult.
Oh, no, it's not. But what I'm saying is, like, they're all... I say, because this is the... conversation, really.
Sorry, the sort of icebreaker is, the BBC say he knew he had HIV and that, but, like... there was never like a public thing that Usher had HIV or anything like that. Like, so as far as I'm going, this is speculation. He might have only found out he had HIV when she said, "I've got HIV, and the only person I've slept with is you," or like, "You're the last person." Do you get what I mean? Like, I think stuff like that is
we probably should have researched this a bit more before we started this podcast, didn't it?
Well, that's all guesswork. So that's why I think you can't talk really about it. You can say what you want, but you're just guessing. No, but like, they're not facts. The R. Kelly thing is fact. The Chris Brown thing is fact. Octavian is fact. Michael Jackson, to a degree, is fact.
This is the problem, because I feel like
the Usher, the Usher and Westwood thing is just guessing because someone might have posted something once. Like, realistically, Westwood, he does over 18 gigs. Whether he bangs an 18-year-old or bangs a 35-year-old or a 40-year-old. Legal. He's not broke the law in any way. There's obviously a morality thing of Westwood's age compared to someone that's 20 or 18, but then no one's moaning about it when it's a multi-billionaire. So then that's a completely different subject. So like, I think maybe Westwood you can throw out, Usher you can throw out because nothing's ever been proven. We don't know nothing. It's just guessing about someone for no apparent reason.
So, but yeah, like I said, so my absolute biggest problem with all of it is that whole, like, I feel like it is a double standard. I feel like we said, oh, Chris Brown, oh, but we really like his music and he's so talented and all this fucking bollocks. And it's like, yeah, he is, but he also beat the shit out of Rihanna. Whether he was young or not, it's not acceptable. Under any circumstances. Like, if you see with footballers, like, you know, like, there's been cases of this when like footballers have been involved in cases like this and whatever, and they lose, and as soon as a club signs them, like, fans stop buying tickets and sponsors pull out and stuff, because they're like, I know the clubs will be like, oh yeah, but we want to like help them out and, you know, try and let them carry their life on. They know they've made the mistake, etc. But with such jobs, they're so high paying that the morality is kind of what's the word? It's kind of turned up a degree, because it's like, well, if you're a footballer or you're a musician or someone like that, you're making money sort of not doing a proper job, if you know what I mean. Like, they're fun jobs. You want to play football, like you want to make music or whatever. So then to have someone do something like that and then say, oh yeah, we know you've just beat the shit out of Rihanna, but we quite like you and you're going to make us some money, so you carry on. It feels morally disingenuous.
Well, my comeback to that, but the Chris Brown and R. Kelly thing, I think, is a terrible comparison. Like, in general.
Oh, it absolutely is, because they are two different situations.
It's completely different. But my point was, at least Chris Brown said, I've done that, I'm wrong. Whether you believe him or not, and whether he has a career after that, is completely different. R. Kelly is in prison saying, I've never done that. Even though there's evidence that shows he done that. Like, Chris Brown, you could put a photo of him of what he did to Rihanna, and he would say, "I did that. That's my like I'm wrong for that."
And I commend him for that, but we've also let him made millions and millions of pounds straight after. Whether he said he was wrong or not, I don't think, in the same way that like in football, like Adam Johnson, okay, he was a nonce, so it's not quite the same, but there's like same kind of things. There's been footballers of that ilk. As soon as they get signed, all the sponsors pull out. They say, drop him or we're pulling out. Because we don't want to be associated with it, but B, also the fans will kind of, like the fan associations will be quite vocal and say, right, well, we don't want to come to the games if this player's going to play. But because
the one thing I'd say is comparing football to the musician thing's very different, because
it's not, and I'll tell you why. It's because of what I said. They make similar amounts of money. As in, like, the money it's big money. The reason why people don't like it in football is not because of a morality thing, because football is pretty moralless anyway, because of a vast amount of money people get paid. But people see, oh, hang on a second, this guy's going to get paid £50,000 a week, and he beat his missus up. Oh, we don't want to support that. He doesn't deserve to get £50,000 if he did that. And I feel like the music industry should adopt that.
But you're saying football and music industry same in that respect, but it's completely different, because bar being on a label and now you can do it independently, and because of royalties and stuff like that, it doesn't matter whether you don't like that person. If their music's still getting played and listened to, they're still getting paid. It's not like being signed to a club. Equally, you don't need sponsors to be a hugely successful artist.
But this is the thing, though, because then
football, you do need sponsorships and you need fan attendance. If, for example, Chris Brown's fans still listen to Chris Brown's music and still show up to his concert, that's the equivalent to fans at a football club still going to a game.
But that's the thing. But I can't back that, because if we're going to show the same energy for everyone else, then we have to show that energy to Chris Brown.
But the other thing is, obviously, there's no governing body for music.
Equally, I mean, with football, they don't care either, because you can just sign anyone.
Equally, football clubs then have to answer to shareholders. It's not necessarily the same for record labels or independent labels or offshoots of record labels. And the only thing really, I think the Chris Brown thing it's a hard topic, but
the Chris Brown one is the crux of the argument. Like, it's the perfect one to talk about. I think it fits right in the gap.
Yeah, but there's a lot of I don't want to say like pros and cons to the Chris Brown thing, but there's arguments for Chris Brown and there's arguments against Chris Brown. The R. Kelly one, which you like compared it to, is cut and dry.
That was just to get the conversation started, in all honesty, because we all know R. Kelly's fucked it.
Oh, that was a shit conversation starter. Yeah. Because it's a terrible comparison. Because
but you've just shot on it. Yeah, but I've just got 20 minutes of pod content out of you shitting on it, so I've done fucking great, mate.
Well, true. Because I suppose R. Kelly's one went on for years and years and years and years. The Chris Brown thing, as far as I'm aware, is just an isolated incident when he was 20 and he admitted he's wrong. He got the R. Kelly thing is I've done it for 20, 30 years. I know.
Also,
I'm not.
If we're talking truthfully about Chris Brown. Chris Brown owes his career to Chipmunk.
What?
Chipmunk saved his career. So when he got dropped by every single radio station, Champion got leaked, because he made Champion straight after with Chris Brown Chipmunk tune, from the second album. That got leaked, and that put him back in favor with radio. That's what made him survive. It was that song. So basically, we owe the scene to Chip.
No, I don't think it was Chipmunk. I'm swearing.
No, it was. It was definitely.
But that definitely didn't get him much radio play in America, did it?
He charted in America?
I don't know.
It got leaked. He leaked it like a week early before it came out. It was like some dodge version, and it that saved him.
I thought he come back with 3 times or something.
I don't know. I don't think that was the first song that got played on radio post beating the shit out of Rihanna.
I think Champion came out around that time. That was, and it was like all the fans were feeling it, because it was like an emotional sort of track to come out after that happened. Like, so there's still loyal fans.
I think it's because it didn't come out. It got. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's not big. I think if you look at the dates, that might have come out before, but it got leaked really early, and everybody had a copy. It's a bit like your Aya Nakamura song with Stormzy.
That didn't get leaked. I got sent a promo.
Oh yeah, whatever.
There's difference. Look, I don't know. Like, equally, I think what happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna is morally wrong. The only positive I take about that is that he owned up to it.
I can accept the apology, but then I can't be like, oh yeah, I know you've done this terrible, because as far as I'm concerned, that's in like the top bracket of unacceptable things to do. Like there's a few things in there, like that's just, it's one of those things that it's just not on. Like, rapper has a fight, hits someone, whatever, like it is what it is. They get charged, like whatever, like.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
Look, because we're going around in a circle a little bit. Do you still listen or play Chris Brown records?
I avoid if physically possible.
Okay, I still play Chris Brown records because,
except for Run It, because Run It's a banger.
Well, there you go. As in R. Kelly, it's cut and dry.
I still play R. Kelly.
Octavian,
occasionally,
cut and dry. Chris,
I'm good with Octavian because I only played like 1-2 tunes, and now I'm like, oh great,
yeah,
it's just one less artist I need to listen to that I don't.
I would say just bringing it back to Octavian about that situation. Something I just did want to say on the pod. The thing that's crazy, if you listen to the lyrics of his songs that he's been releasing for years, it's crazy sometimes. Like, you hear these lyrics and you kind of then are like surprised that things like this happen. I mean,
oh my God, yes.
Literally, his lyrics are crazy. Even Bet, which is like his with Skepta, was like his most popular track. Even the lyrics on there, like in the hook, like he even says something like "I'll make her regret" or something like blatantly obvious. And yeah, it just makes you think. Like,
let me go on Genius lyrics,
XXXTentacion, and some of these other guys, like, you know. Some of these lyrics are so, it's like obvious, like he's literally speaking on a track about these things, you know. And so yeah, it's crazy when people are like surprised.
I just want to throw it out, he 100% didn't say regret in any of the song. I'm reading it right now. According to Genius lyrics, that's not what he said.
Oh well, check the lyrics out for Octavian My Head. Check the lyrics out on that. It's like crazy.
I mean, I'm still pulling your point. I just wanted to know, let everyone on the podcast know that Chris is full of shit.
I'll check it.
Just while we're here, it's just because we had an opportunity to do that.
Look, let's sort of get into wrapping it up. I think morally, none of us agree with any of the things that any of them artists have done. Yes or no?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Goes without saying.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
There you go. You got to make it. You got to agree.
Wade just checked because he was like, "Is Pav going to say something fucked up?"
No, for legal reasons, because we spoke about a lot of shit on this podcast. So, in case anything happens, there you go. We can say.
If anybody does want to start legal proceedings, you can spin on this. Just letting you know.
Okay, I think the R. Kelly thing's cut and dry. I think the Octavian thing's very cut and dry. It is. They've done what they've done. The Chris Brown thing, I'm not saying he gets a pass, but at least he actually owned up to it. That's the thing. Michael Jackson, that can go on forever. So there's no point trying to determine did he, didn't he. You know, we're never going to find the answer to that ever, most probably. But
Prince Andrew is definitely a nonce.
Prince Andrew is 100% a nonce. The Usher thing, yeah, that could just be a load of shit, or it could be true. Who knows? The Westwood thing, there's nothing really there that I know. Neither, I think, either of yous do. So that's really it for big stars.
Yeah. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
100%. But I think it's very clear that we know Prince Andrew's a nonce. Okay.
Yeah. Bitch be sweating. Well, you can't sweat, but...
Okay, look, we're going to end up running over time, but Pav, let's do What's Your Order. Let's have some fun, because this has been a very...
Sorry, is this a new set? Chris, can you get some segment music? Like... we need to do a little Craig David remix, like "What's your order? Tell me what's your order." Ooh. Yeah, there you go. That's the jingle.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
do that every week.
You can use that. So let's do that because we do it every week where Pav gets us to pick, well, not necessarily pick, but gets us to tell you what our order is at different restaurants / fast food places, and generally Tesco's and places like that. And Pav, it's over to you. Talk.
Yeah, so
let's have some fun
week,
because this podcast was very deep that I don't think any of us
got
thought
deep quite quickly. Still.
None of us thought that would happen. So, let's get some fun.
Right, this week we've done McDonald's, we've done the £3 meal deal. This week is the big one, Nando's. What's your Nando's order? We will be very, 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 very descriptive, and we will also be absolutely shitting on everybody's order. So, Wade, I'll let you go first because I feel like yours is going to be normal.
Okay, are we including are we including like a starter or no starter?
Just whatever when you go, like everyone has the same order pretty much when they go.
Okay, so me and my girlfriend always get red pepper dip to share.
Okay, because
that's a cool little starter. I get the olives because I really like olives and I like the garlic in them and the peppers and stuff, which I think people would agree that's a good choice. Thank you, everyone. Then I normally get it depends. I have like 2 go-to orders.
Well, you can only pick one, mate. So,
well, I'm gonna tell you both. So there you go. You wanted my order. This is what I get. Depends what I'm in the mood for, Pav.
Oh, great! Cheers.
So I either get a chicken burger. I don't know what they're called. They've got a name, but is it butterfly chicken burger? Okay, I get a chicken burger. I normally get medium.
Oh, okay.
I get it with cheese. I have it.
Have to have with cheese.
Yeah, I have minus the tomato. No tomato. And I will tell you why no tomato. Because the fucking tomato. I like tomato. The fucking thing just falls out as soon as you try and eat it.
Yeah, I don't like tomato in burger. I don't like raw tomato.
Oh, see, I do. So scrap the tomatoes. Butterfly chicken, medium with cheese, minus the tomato, but still keep the lettuce and peronaise. I get it with peri peri chips.
Good choice.
And depends how hungry I am. I will get garlic bread on the side, or I just get a large peri peri chips. It sort of depends if I want the garlic bread or not. My other order is the chicken thighs.
Yeah.
But if I get the chicken thighs, I get them hot.
Yes.
With equally peri peri chips or garlic bread, and I get peronaise with both the meals.
Big flex. The thighs. I feel like every girl I've ever been to Nando's with all get the thighs.
Oh god.
Thighs are divisive.
I've never ordered the thighs, but whenever I go with a ting to Nando's, they always order the thighs.
Chicken thighs are really nice, but I don't like them in the burgers.
I've not had them, but when shit opens, I'm gonna go Nando's and order the thighs. But yeah, that was a respectable order. I love that. The peronaise sauce was a very nice touch because I also do that.
Thank you.
And when they don't bring it, I get really fucking angry
because I've paid for it.
Like this is 50, like it's 50p now. It used to be 30. Like I'm not being that cunt that brings their own bottle from Tesco. So like if I've paid for it, bring it. Like that's the thing. I mean that's just a thing in anywhere that you order stuff really. But Nando's are lazy cunts like that. Chris, what's your order?
So I actually go for chicken thighs. Done medium.
Bitch.
Done medium.
Medium.
I also, as sides, get peri salted chips and coleslaw.
Oh,
nice. I can work with the coleslaw.
Yeah,
halloumi cheese on the side.
Pussy.
I also get peronaise, essential. I get the chicken medium spice, but I always get the hot sauce to drizzle on top of the chicken and the coleslaw.
Because it's not as hot as the marinade
it's not,
sauce,
it's a different kind of recipe, I'm sure.
It's a different blend.
It's not as hot as when they marinate the chicken. And then obviously as a drink, fancy with no ice. And that's my order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Cheers, J Huss.
Yeah, because it's the refillable soft drink.
That's my order.
Yeah. I think... See, the reason I didn't name the drink is because where you can just garp as many times as you want, you can have whatever you want when you want.
Yeah, the beauty of the refillable drink is that when you finished it, you can refill it with anything. What's everyone's obsession with the fucking halloumi, man?
It's just great.
Well, look, I don't order the halloumi, but my girlfriend Sam, who I go Nando's with, does.
Fucking hell. So it sounded like you were trying to get an alibi, like, oh yeah, well, what about we back up on the 24th of November,
guys, I definitely go with Sam to Nando's.
Yeah, at approximately 6:34, we were at the Nando's.
But my point in this is, she normally gets the halloumi and we share it. But I'd never order it myself. If I don't go with my girlfriend Sam, and I'm going to stop calling her my girlfriend Sam and just say Sam, yeah. Then I won't order it myself.
Sounds like you're trying to like just let side things know that you've got the girlfriend secured.
No,
waiting high demand.
No, we've been together. Well, we have been together a few years, so that people should know. But for people listening to the podcast, if I say Sam, they might think like my boyfriend. So I just got to clarify, my girlfriend. Yeah, sorry. If let's say we go to Nando's, as in no drinks in the booth, Nando's podcast. I wouldn't order the halloumi.
But you'd still want a Chris's.
But if Chris had one, I'd say, Chris, would you mind passing up one slice of that halloumi, please?
If you'd be lucky.
Yeah, and by that look, he'd be telling you
you'd
to
be lucky,
fuck
mate.
off.
You'd be lucky.
By that look, yeah. So then I'd have to order it. But
right,
Pav, what do you order?
Oh, cheers, guys! Oh, now I know how you feel at the beginning of every podcast. Where
it's really it's actually
just
quite
sad.
sad.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I know. Well, I only have one order because I get the same thing every time I go Nando's. So I get half chicken, hot on a normal. If I'm out with a girl, I'll get extra hot. Just being honest, because it makes no real difference. Because apparently the extra hot is just they put more of the hot sauce on. It's not a different sauce. That's what I've been told. So yeah, I'll get extra hot. Peri chips.
Nice.
Spicy rice.
That's a good flex, the spicy rice.
The spicy rice is good. Refillable drink. I will get the Peronaise, at least one, sometimes two. Because what I do, and you guys aren't gonna like this. Well, I get sometimes oh wait, yeah, let me just smack that.
Pav got so excited he just knocked his camera.
So I'm like, if I'm like really hungry, I might get some wings as well, extra hot or hot, depending on what I've had the chicken.
Good choice.
But yeah, this is something that people don't like when they go Nando's with me, is that what I do is I finish the chicken and the chips, and then I pour the rice onto my plate, and I mix the Peronaise into the rice. And it looks like fucking baby sick, but it tastes great.
I kind of back that. I'd probably do that.
It's a flex.
It sounds absolutely disgusting, but I can imagine.
I bet it tastes great
because you know it's like the Peronaise has got that like slight like vinegary kind of hint. It tastes bad boy, and then obviously I'll get, depending on which one they've got available, either the extra hot sauce or the peri vusa sauce. Just as a bit of side dip, because sometimes they're a bit stingy with the sauce on the chicken. Yeah, like if they've not done it properly and the chicken's a little bit dry, which it should never be for £12. You stealing cunts.
No. Shout out to Nando's if they want to give us black cards.
Yes.
Pav didn't mean that.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, like would really appreciate some free chicken. Like,
well, equally
so much.
Has any? I've tried this before. I'll tell you a very short story. So I went for Nando's once before a gig with a DJ that was playing at the gig, and I was like mind blown because I got my typical order, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, can I have whatever chicken burger, chips, whatever? Can I have it peri tamer?" And I was like, "What the fuck is peri tamer?" It's the kids one. It's like barbecue sauce. So I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So then when I went next time, I got like just the butterfly chicken on its own. I got my normal order, but I got a butterfly chicken. So I said, "Can I have it peri tamer to try it?" And I was like, yeah. It was nice, but what the fuck do you go and get it peri tamer or equally plain?
If you get plain, you touch kids. It's a fact. Because you either touch kids or you are a kid. It's one of the two.
If you're a child, it's fine. If you're a child, it's absolutely fine. If you're not a child, yeah.
Even if you get like, what is it, like lemon and herb? Like, what are you doing?
I don't mind lemon and herb.
I've heard it bangs like
it's really nice. Mango and lime's nice as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they do mango and lime as well now, or whatever it is. But like, it's acceptable if like you've got your chicken like hot or medium, whatever, and you've got like a couple of wings on the side, and you're like, yeah, I'll get them lemon and herb. Like, that's acceptable. Like a little flex. Or if you use the lemon and herb sauce, because I know a lot of people get the lemon and herb sauce and they get the like the medium or the hot sauce and they mix them like from the bottles, and I'm like, that's acceptable as well. But don't get plain.
No. Has anyone, this is my favourite part of the podcast now, this What's Your Order, by the way.
Fuck the music. What are you eating?
But it makes me so hungry afterwards, which is the worst part.
I really want a Nando's, but they don't deliver to my house. I'm going to have to go there.
No, they deliver to my house, but, you know, it's very expensive. Like, having it in the restaurant is fine, but having it delivered is never as good. Equally, has anyone ever had the desserts from Nando's? Listen,
the chocolate cake is a flex.
Really? I've never had dessert.
So I go with my cousin a lot.
Has Chris died?
I'm here.
Sorry, Chris just realised he's got other important things to do. Sorry, Chris. Fucking hell. Didn't realise we were eating up your time like that.
For people that obviously can't see, because this is a podcast that people listen to, Chris is literally looks like slumped over in his chair.
Yeah, Chris looks like someone unplugged his life support.
Of lemon and herb sauce.
I'll tell you why I say that. I read this thing earlier, and Stephen Hawking was doing this lecture somewhere, and an alarm started going off, and he slumped over and pretended to be dead. So they were trying to fix the machine. They were trying to fix his machine, and he just got up and went, "Oh, it's just the fire alarm in the other room, mate. It wasn't me. It's a different computer."
That is legendary. Okay, right. Chocolate cake. Tell me very quickly. This podcast has run over very badly.
It's like triple chocolate cake, but it comes with cream as well, and it's a big flex. Like, it's actually one of the better desserts I've had in a non-dessert shop.
Right, next time I go, I'm going to have to try it. Chris, have you ever tried the Nando's
I actually
desserts?
haven't. I've never had a dessert at Nando's. We always used to go round the corner to McDonald's and just get McFlurries for 99p. Does the job.
Well, yeah.
I do that as well, to be fair.
Can't blame that. Okay. Well, look, I very much enjoyed this What's Your Order. Pav, do you have any idea what next week's What's Your Order will be, to give the listeners something to look forward to?
Oh, damn.
Or you don't have to know. It was just, I weren't sure.
Well, I was going to do Burger King, but clearly one of us hasn't been.
I've not been to Burger King in probably 6 months, to be honest. It's not a regular spot for me at the minute.
Can you do Burger King, but in a few weeks so Chris can get one?
Yeah, I'm happy to go get a Burger King for the podcast. No worries. I'll eat it on the podcast.
Does everyone KFC?
Does everyone eat KFC?
Does everyone KFC? Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
But again, I don't go regularly. Might have to get one.
Fucking hell, Chris! Do you do anything regularly? Only.
Chris is like, "Oh, what's your favourite Sunday roast?" Or, well, I prefer gammon personally.
Yeah, I normally have like oysters, lobsters, that kind of thing. I don't really sort of have caviar, that kind of thing. So if you want to do that, that's fine. No, I normally just do McDonald's, Subway, and Nando's. Like my three.
Oh, Subway next week.
Down that's for. What we're going with. I can really do Subway.
Flex.
Chris, so in the next couple of Pav, you've got to remember is Subway, by the way. Chris,
someone post a picture of Subway on the Insta so I can remember.
Actually, let me just write it down.
Subway.
Yeah. Don't know about Subway.
Okay, Chris, in the next couple of weeks.
In my time. Oh, okay.
Oh God.
Yep.
Chris, in the next couple of weeks.
Sorry, my uncle has a Subway, and
what franchise?
Yeah, he's got a franchise.
Where is it? I'm going to visit him.
It's like Coventry.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, you could come and visit me, but fucking hell, all right, cheers.
I'd visit you, Pav. I would visit you
for a Subway,
for a covered wagon.
Yes, covered wagon. And literally, yeah, it was like the saddest thing ever. I was chatting to him, and this girl that I knew was working at his Subway, and we'd had a couple of drinks, and it was like proper dad jokey, and he was just fully like, yeah, he was like, why don't you just ask him to be like, oh, I know you can handle a foot long, but can you do 6 inches as well? And I was like, yeah. I was like, this is why I'm single.
God. Well, I'm surprised we haven't done like and I'm sure it's going to come up. But I'm surprised we haven't done like what's your order, you know, like curry house edition, or you know, like
because
the typical.
If anyone says chicken tikka masala, they're getting fucking drop kicked.
No, or equally like our favourite takeaway in terms of like, you know, what a takeaway: Chinese, Indian, kebab, that type of thing.
I mean, in fairness, mate, we've only done it for 3 weeks.
Subway next week,
and it is the best part of. It is the best. It is one of my favourite segments, if not the best segment. Because I just want to cut
everyone. I just want to cut everyone. Have you seen that Domino's is doing that new pizza with kebab on it?
No, but it sounds vile.
It's like beef kebab.
Domino's, like, you got to do that one as well.
Yeah, but like, bro, I want the kebab.
No.
It's not like full pieces. They've like cut it up so it looks like bacony.
I'm going to have to investigate this further.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Subway to look forward to next week, yeah?
Subway's happening next week.
And my point, sorry, Chris, before I wrap this whole thing up, Chris, in the next couple of weeks, could you please sample a Burger King and a KFC so we know what your order will be?
I know my order is a KFC, but I'll have to revisit Burger King because I've not been to a Burger King in like 6 months. So I'll do Burger King.
Could you do that in the next few weeks? So then when we do,
I'll do some research as well extensively. I'm gonna have to just excuse to order some takeaways. But like, Mom, it's for the pod.
Yeah, we're all going to do some extensive research now on the Wash Your Order segment. Okay, I think that's it for this week's podcast. We've ran over, but it was a deep podcast by accident. But we lightened it up at the end, I think. Anyone want any final words before I wrap this up?
Yeah, just want to confirm once again, Prince Andrew is 100% a nonce. Just to let it out there.
I back that. Chris, anything? Have you died of loss of
nothing to say, mate. I'm still alive.
No, nothing to say. Okay,
cheers. Right. It's not like we have a talking platform or anything, but you got nothing to say. That's fine. Fucking hell.
Oh no.
I think 2 hours is enough, don't you think?
It's because he's wearing white. He's a changed man. Okay, let's wrap it up. As always, you can listen to all of the music on Spotify and YouTube that we spoke about in today's show. They are the No Drinks in the Booth playlist on Spotify and equally the YouTube playlist. Same name for the artist and the name of the playlist. You can obviously find the podcast and listen back to all the classics that we've got, 16 of them. Yeah.
Classics.
On Apple Podcast and on Spotify. And if you could leave us a 5-star review, we'd be very grateful. And obviously write a bit of feedback. We'd like to hear from you. Pushes us up in the chart higher. Equally, you know where to find us. No Drinks in the Booth, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up with, you know, any topics you want to hear and what your order is, what you think of the reviews, all of the good stuff, you know, all that. And that is it from this week. Episode 17 done, written off. Peace.